Hello Aries, I am Ulrich, I'm the Normand card reading, but today we will do the financial card reading for the sign of Aries for the month of October 2021. This laying is done with 3 cards you see here in front of me on the table, and you see 4 objects, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Aries for the month of October 2021. Now, from these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current financial situation, or the advice that you are receiving from the cards regarding that financial situation. Of course, you can watch all 4 videos related to the Aries sign, and then you can decide which object or card reading is fitting you the best. The matches here represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Aries, here we go for your card reading for October 2021. Hello Aries, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your card reading for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that since 27 September, Mercury is going retrograde up to 18 October, meaning this is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under for officializing it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see that your emails come late, packages that need to be delivered in your home are not delivered. They are delivered in the wrong destination. The containers of the package is wrong. Your flights are canceled, your bus is late. These are all things that are frequently happening during Mercury retrograde. It's because our mind, the mind of all people, the collective mind, is going a little bit slower during that period. Also, during that time, it's not a good idea, for instance, for buying laptops, cell phones, laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is connected to a warranty, and sometimes problems can pop up there. Anyway, the general idea here is that we don't sign contracts at all during that period. If, however, for some reason, you're obligated, you feel compelled, you have no choice, or whatever reason, please, before you sign, double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible afterwards that you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract, and you cannot anymore. There were clauses in the contract that were binding, and if you want to get out, you need to pay a big fine. So it's better to prevent than that we have problems afterwards. This being said, we go with the card reading. Now, the first card that we see here is the general idea here is that that we have here is that we over the card reading here for this month is that we need to take care of our food, the way we eat, and we need to secure ourselves for the future, and we need to stay close to our loved ones. But we will go in details. Now, the first card is the card of the food, so it means that probably on very regular basis you take takeouts. And this card tells you to minimize the takeout food and try to apply a more healthy lifestyle. Why is this? Well, for instance, for example, if we always buy takeouts, it costs us a lot of money. Also, meals that are ready, we buy in supermarket, they cost a lot. And this card tells you to get your pots and pans back out of the closet and start cooking yourself. Buy healthy vegetables, buy broccoli, buy whatever that you like, salads. This card tells you to eat healthy, and this will you will have a double reward. Why? You will become more healthy, you will lose weight even if you don't want, and you will save a lot of money. This is what this card is about. We need to take care of ourselves, and if we cook ourselves, also we will save a lot of money. So this card tells you to break the chain of spending or overspending on takeouts and do more home cooking. You will also learn to master the art of culinary art. You will eat healthier and you will save a lot of money. The second card that we see here is that we need to prepare ourselves for the irregularities in life, for the bad times, as they say. You see that the pig is wearing the umbrella here. So no matter where we are in life, there will always be rainy days and storms. And even when it comes to money, sometimes we need to prepare ourselves for the irregularities in life. So this card asks you if you have a rescue plan. Do you have a safety cushion? Did you foresee the unforeseen, the unpredictable? We never know what will happen. So this card asks us to be cautious and to prepare for unforeseen conditions. If you prepare, how did you prepare? This is what this card is about. Do you have enough insurances? Is your income stable? Is your car secure? Is it well maintained? These are all things connected to these cards. Do you have some savings? Because we have the pig there. Do you have some savings, or do you spend everything? Could you survive without a pay cut? So this is a card that asks us to become more stable in our life, and foresee the unforeseen. This card asks you to act in control over an unforeseen future. The last card is a card about love. What is this card about? Well, probably we are the generous type, and we probably take out the loved ones that we have on regular basis for eating, for restaurants, because this card is here also. We spend some serious amounts on that. Probably also we are very generous with gifts towards our loved ones, and this card tells us to be realistic about that and minimize that. The most precious gift that we have in our current society is time. Nobody has time left. We are all busy, 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 and there is no time left. This card tells that our most expensive gift is time. So instead of buying gifts for your loved ones, don't buy gifts, spend time with them, spend quality time with them, take a day off, spend time with them, spend time with your children, spend time with family members. This is what this card is about. For instance, small anecdotes when our children are growing up are great memories for later on in life. So maybe the real value, this card tells us, is in there. This is what this card is about. We don't need to pay for love. We just need to give time to our loved ones, and also the deepness of your relationship with those people will go deeper and become more intense. So Aries, for the water group, this is all for this month. I hope you find some wisdom in this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please check out also the other card readings for the sign of Aries, the Longmont card readings. Thank you for spending your time on my channel, and we see each other in my other card readings. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Aries, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air Group for your financial card reading for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that on 27 September, Mercury is running retrograde. This is up to 18 October. This is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that time your emails are late. Packages that need to arrive in your home are in the wrong destination. The containers of the package is wrong. Your flights are canceled. These are all things that are happening frequently during Mercury retrograde. It is because our mind, the mind of all people, the collective mind, is running a little bit slower during that time, and this is the cause of these problems. Also, in that period, it's not a good time, for instance, for buying cell phones, laptops, laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is connected to the warranty, and afterwards there could be problems with those things. Anyway, the general idea here is that we don't sign any contracts at all during that period for keeping ourselves safe. However, if for some reason you are obligated, you have no choice, you feel compelled for signing a contract, please, before you sign, double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible afterwards you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract, and you cannot anymore because there are clauses in the contract you didn't see that prevent from that. And if you want out, you need to pay a big fine. Anyway, it's better to avoid these situations than to solve them. Coming back to the card reading for Aries for the air group, the first card that we see here is the card of cash payment. probably my idea is here that we need to evolve here with the times. We need to educate ourselves more. That's the general idea here, and we need to use our money in a different way. And sometimes also we need to make adjustments, because this is the card of adjustments. But we're coming back here to the cash payments. Probably for your payments that you do, you pay a lot with credit cards, like most of us. And this card asks you to try to pay in cash in the future. Why is that? Well, if we always pay with the credit cards, actually, we don't have a feeling with the money. I give an example. For instance, you open your wallet, there is cash money, and you give it over, you hand it over to the cashier accepts, and this causes an effect of pain in your brain. Why? Because the money is getting less in your wallet. If we pay with the credit card, we have no sense at all what we are paying. And we see this only by the end of the month, and then we see what we have spent. So this card wants you to regain a better control over your finances. If you pay cash, you will make faster and more easy connections between those two paying methods. And you will see, if you pay cash, that you will spend less. Also, you will prevent for buying things that are not necessary, because every time you pay with cash, you get the pain reaction, because your wallet is literally getting thinner. Of course, banks and credit institutions, they love that we pay with credit cards. And if they would be their ultimate dream, of course, to eliminate paper money, because we have no more sense of money at all. This would turn the whole society into a consumption society. And of course, the consumption behavior for everybody would increase. So for them, virtual payment is a necessity. But for you, you can take a lesson out of that, and you can start paying cash while we can still do it, and probably money will always exist. So this card tells you to take charge of your wallet, pay cash for all your purchases, for instance, for 1 month, and you will see you will regain more control over your money. The second card is the card of evolution. What does this mean? Well, we all have certain subscription and things in our house that we don't need anymore, and we still pay for. I give an example. For instance, maybe you have still a landline in your house, and every time you call, you use your cell phone, but you still need to pay for your subscription. Same with television channels. Maybe you always catch yourself, you watch on the internet, and you don't need your TV channels anymore. So the question that this card asks us is, if you don't use it, why would you pay for it? So this card tells you to analyze these expenses and go along with the times. If you don't need it, just get rid of it and save the money for something else. Learn yourself financially more lessons and save the money and spend it in something that you really need. For instance, you can cancel the number, you can get rid of the subscription of the TV channels, and you can use that money for something else. So this card asks you to review your monthly bills and adjust your spending on the current times. The last card is the card that we need to learn ourselves, and especially if we have children, we need to learn them the value of money. Probably also in your area, the money don't fall from the trees. And this card tells us, I give an example here, you're with your children or with your cousins in the mall, and they know you're gonna give them a gift, and you say, no, I cannot pay now. It's difficult for this moment. And they say, but why you cannot? Your wallet is full of credit cards. This is what I mean with financial education. For instance, if you have children, they are not aware of money. They have no contact with money. Same as here we saw with the first card. So this card asks us to bring our children in contact with the real value of money. Learn them how to manage money, how they learn to manage their finances, because it would be an utopian idea that they would turn into knowledgeable consumers if they never are confronted with buying something and they don't know the value about money. So this card tells you, break the taboo about money, learn them how to handle money, also yourself. You will see their point of view, and you will see different points of view that they have with you, and you will turn them here in knowledgeable consumers. So by teaching them the workings of this good and give them a good foundation, you will build a better heritage for themselves, and we all learn from each other. That is what we see here, especially from our children. So, Aries, for the water group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser of this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit your role, please check out the other 4 card readings that are connected here. Please check out also my classic Lenormand card readings that we do always for the sign of Aries. Thank you for spending your time on my channel, and we see each other in my other videos. Thank you, and bye-bye for now. Hello, Aries, and welcome to the Stone Group or the Earth Group for the month of October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that since 27 September, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning it's not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes it. It's not a good thing to do. Also, you will see during that period, your bus is frequently late. Packages that need to be delivered and at your home don't show up. Your flights are canceled, your trains are delayed. These are all things that are happening very frequently during Mercury retrograde. It's because our mind, the mind of all people, the collective mind, is going a little bit slower during that period. Also, it's not a good idea during that time, for instance, for buying cell phones, laptops, laundry machines. Why? Because these devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is connected to the warranty, and sometimes problems pop up there. So the general idea here is that we don't, or we try to avoid any contracts during that period at all. If, however, for some reason you feel obligated, you have no choice, or you want to sign a contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract and you cannot anymore because you overlooked some clauses, and these clauses prevent you from ending the contract. And if you really want out, you need to pay a big fine, and that is what nobody wants. So here is, during this period, it's better to prevent and not to engage. Anyway, this being said, we go further now with the card reading. If I take a quick overview here, is that you are urged here with this short reading about making more savings, making yourself more secure, and check out things that you pay on regular basis and cut out things that you don't need. But we will go into it here. The first card is the most important card here, I think, in this reading. It means that probably we are able to make some savings. Meaning probably at the end of the month you notice that you even if you live a good life, you can still save some money, and this card wants to urge you to transfer that money from your account into your savings account. I think you are aware, but I explained the automatic savings system. It's like you go online and you give an automatic order for every month. It's an order that don't stop, and every month at a certain date, a certain amount of money is transferring from your account to your savings account. This is done automatically. You don't need to do. If you apply this, you will see in 6 months or 1 year, you will save or accumulate a serious amount of money. This is what this card is about. It will also secure you for a better future. And maybe you can save this money for things. Maybe things need to be repaired in your house on the long run, or you are planning for some repairs in your house here, or to make some changes, or maybe you planning to buy another car in the future. So this is what this card is about. We need to save for the future, maybe for irregularities that are coming, or maybe you want to take a trip in the future. This is all possible. Anyway, this card urges us to accumulate important sums of money that will make you financially more stable. The second card is about certain debts that we have. We all have debts. There are good debts and there are bad debts, both of them. Good debts, for instance, is if we have a house, we have a mortgage, And this mortgage is actually financially beneficial for us. Why? Because we can deduct it from our taxes. And the second thing is that our value, the value of our property, every year it increases in value, especially now with this uncertain times. Houses and property are very valuable now. So this is what this card is about. It urges you, if you have a mortgage, that is very fine, that is a good thing to have, because you can deduct these expenses, but this is also about debts on credit cards. So if you have certain credit cards, maybe you don't pay attention to them, and maybe you have some outstanding credit cards that are not balanced out. This card tells you to check these credit cards out. Maybe you pay a lot of expenses on these credit cards, and you should attend to these expenses, because if you buy an article, for instance, with a credit card, and it has a certain price, and you leave the card unchecked for a long time, well, the article will cost you a lot more than that was your original intention. So this card tells you to balance out certain debts on credit cards that you have, because this is considered as a bad investment. Anyway, this card wants you to improve overall, make more savings. We come back to this. And then the last card is about our monthly payments, or our mensualities, as we say. So we all have certain small bills that we pay. We have our subscription on our cell phone, we have our internet, we have TV channels that we are subscribed on. And most of us, because we are subscribed, mostly we have done this during a promo, and that is what the first thing is about. If we subscribed on promo, some of these companies have the right to adjust the price after, and you didn't notice it probably, and they changed the price, so it cost you actually more than was originally your intention. So this card tells you to check out all your small monthly payments. Nobody pays attention to that, but this card tells you probably you have some. So check what you pay for your monthly internet, check what you pay on your credit cards, if there are some changes there. Are there things that slightly increased, that are changed? If they are, call your credit card company and try to get you back in a promo. Sometimes these contracts are silently expanded to another period of time. So you need to be careful with that, because you come in an entirely different payment system. So this card tells you, check out, contact these people and try to get back the promos that you had before. And if they overcharge you, please, here you are urged to take notice of that and do something about it. Also, this is about credit cards, and it's related to the other card here. Some credit card companies are real sharks. This is what this card is about also, and they overcharge us. What does that mean? Well, your credit card is below zero, and your monthly payments, they increase, because these cards are very flexible. You don't notice, but actually, if you see your invoices out of the end of the month, you're surprised what they charge you on a small amount, because you are below zero. So you need to check this out. If this bank overcharge you, or this card overcharge you, try to get rid of them, because they cost you more than was your initial intention. So that is what this card is about. Also, if you feel, or if you think that your bank is overcharging, you should consider like internet banking. Sometimes with net banking, those companies, all of these companies are solid, because they are connected to big banks, and they have no branches. So you can save up to 500,000 euro or dollar a year easy, because these banks have no location, so they have no staff. So check out that also. If you cannot save money, it costs you nothing, and inquiring costs nothing. So here, Aries, for the Stone Group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser with this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please check out also my monthly card readings for the sign of Aries for the Lenormand. Anyway, thank you for your time on my channel, and we see each other in my other videos. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Aries, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for the month of October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that since 27 September, Mercury is going retrograde up to 18 October. This is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that time your flight is canceled, your emails are not showing up, packages that need to be delivered at your home are coming at the wrong destination, the containers of the package is wrong. These are all things that happen very frequently during Mercury retrograde. It's because our mind, the mind of all people, the collective mind, is going a little bit slower during that period. Also, it's not a good idea in that time, for instance, for buying cell phones, laptops, laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is connected to a warranty, and some problems may pop up in that area. Anyway, the general idea here is that we don't sign any contracts at all for protecting ourselves. If, however, for some reason, you are obligated, you feel compelled, or you want to sign a contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible afterwards you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract and you cannot anymore because it's in the clauses you cannot get out. And if you want to get out, you need to pay a big fine, and that was probably not your original intention. So we need to protect ourselves here, and it's best not to engage in any contracts at all during that time. Coming back to the card reading for the fire group of Aries, the first card that we see here is about our children. Well, children, as we know, they are a beautiful world, but the other side is, you see the pig here, they empty your pig, so they are expensive. The apple of our eyes, it costs us dearly. Here we need to, this card tells us that probably you like your children, you love your children, but maybe the budget that you spend on them could be adjusted. This is what this card are about. Probably they give you a lot of requests, plus you have your normal payments, and sometimes we get confused because we don't know anymore where the requests and where all the money need to come from. So this card asks you to reevaluate these expenses that you spend, also in your children. You need to reflect here. This card suggests, it's not better that instead of buying them presents, you cannot better invest in their education, culture, health, or whatever. So this card tells you not to follow the flow of the other parents. For instance, trends like cell phones, whatever, that is the trend of the moment. So this card tells you to establish your priorities according to your personal values, and not to the tears from your children or the social norms that are put upon by media. So this card tells you limit their desires and going into their desires, because they will not stop. That is often the case with children. As soon as they have received what they have requested, something new is popping up in their mind, and don't waste energy on that. It's better to invest on long-term targets, this card tells us, and you can be sure that younger people understand what you are trying to say to them. So you are the one in charge. Learn them, set your priorities, and set your own priorities. The next card that we have here is the value of small amounts of money. This card is about that we don't actually pay much attention anymore to small coins that are in our wallet. But sometimes at the end of the month, we are struggling financially. So this card asks you to give a critical look at all your invoices, and do you ever look at invoices that you are receiving? Also, this card tells you not to go into discounts or anything that is discounted, because maybe you could better invest this money, because we have the house here, maybe in your house or in your children on the long run. So this card tells us that every small coin is for great importance for our own future and for the future of our children. So next time, if you go to the store and you are about to buy, rate first what you are about to buy before you actually pay. Look at all your articles and check out what is really necessary and what are unnecessities or unnecessary purchases. This is what this card is about. So check and learn to value small amounts of money coming from credit cards or cash payments. So this card tells you, give back the value to small amounts that you spend. Let it have its moment of glory. And if you do so, you will quickly save a lot of money that you can spend in the next card here in our children or in our house, because the next card that we have here is about our house. It's also about good and bad debts that we have. Good debts, for instance, is our mortgage. It's considered to be a good debt. Why? We can deduct it from our taxes. That's the first thing. And also the value of our property is going up each year, especially now in these hard economical times. Property has a lot of value. So if you have a house, you are lucky, because every year, wherever you live, the value of property or land is going up. So this is what this card is about. It tells you that the loan on your house is perfectly acceptable, but then we have the debts that we have on certain credit cards or outstanding debts. And this card tells you to balance this out, because this is not a debt that we want. So if you have credit cards where there is some money that are still open, this card tells you to balance these credit cards out, especially credit cards. Some of these credit card companies are real sharks. So if you have cards like that, just check it out, check your invoices, because probably you have one like that here, because this card is here. So this becomes a liability. So you try to get rid of these cards, you try to balance them out. And if they actually charge you too much, get rid of them once and for all, and try to check out if you cannot get in another company, or even pay cash, because it will adjust your payments. If we pay cash, we have more control over our money. So that is what this card is about. Think about the quality of your debts and where exactly do you are. Also, if your bank is overcharging you, for instance, for your accounts, for your credit cards, check if there are no cheaper banks in your surroundings. That can save you a lot of money. For instance, internet banking is a lot cheaper than classic banking. It costs you on year basis, it can save you 500 to 1,000 euro or dollar per year, where you have to do nothing at all, just because you adjust to the internet accounts. Anyway, this being said, this is all for the fire group for Aries this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser of this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Please check out also my traditional Lenormand card readings we do every month. Anyway, thank you for spending your time on my channel, and we see each other in the other card readings. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.